Hey folks, welcome to Fun Party Beverage Facts. I am your host Pierre, and this is a little show where I share with you history, stories, trivia, and general whatnot about wine and other party beverages, with the hopes that maybe you will be entertained but also give you some great stories to tell at your next social gathering. So today we're going to talk about a grape. And of course it's a grape that some great party beverages are made from, but that grape is Zinfandel. Yes, the grape Zinfandel. I love Zinfandel. And I love Zinfandel because you can make some great wine from these grapes, but I also love Zinfandel because it has a fascinating history. There are so many fantastic stories about Zinfandel. Now, before I talk about what I'm going to talk about, let me talk about what I'm not going to talk about. I am not going to talk about white Zinfandel today. I don't have anything against white Zinfandel. In fact, white Zinfandel played a huge, major role in the history of Zinfandel. But that is for another day. I'm going to do a video segment on white Zinfandel versus red Zinfandel. I promise you, I want to tell you that story. It's a great story. But we're going to go back a little farther in history, and we're going to talk more about red Zinfandel and the history of the grape. And so as I begin this segment, let me start out by sharing with you the two wines that I am drinking. And yes, I am drinking two delicious red wines early in the afternoon. It is a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. I'm drinking a Zinfandel. This is an old vine Zinfandel from Lodi, California, a great region for growing Zinfandel. And Zinfandel is the name of the wine, and Zinfandel is the name of the grape. And then I'm also drinking a Primitivo. So this is an Italian Primitivo. That's where Primitivo comes from. And again, Primitivo is the name of the grape as well as the name of the wine. So it would seem that I'm drinking two entirely different wines made from different grapes, and there's some truth that they're entirely different wines. I mean, obviously we've got one that's grown and produced in California, and we've got one that's grown and produced in Italy. That's going to give them very different characteristics. But I'm not drinking wines made from two different grapes. These are actually the same grape. It just turns out we didn't know it for a very long time. So let's go back to the 1850s. During the period of the California Gold Rush. This is when we believe Zinfandel was brought to California and started to be planted there. And thank you to whoever did that. You can look it up on the internet. There's some different theories, and some have already been disproved as to who's responsible and whatnot, but the fact is it happened, and it became America's grape. We didn't know of Zinfandel being anywhere else in the world. There was no other wine called Zinfandel. Nobody else produced it. We produced it, we made it, we put it on the map. But as early as 1967, professors from UC Davis, while visiting Italy, noticed this great Primitivo, and they noticed that there were some great similarities between it and Zinfandel, and they began to suspect what we now know is true. How do we know it's true? How can we prove it now when we couldn't prove it back then? DNA genetic testing. That's right. You can do DNA on grapes, and we can prove a lot of things. We can solve a lot of the mysteries of grapes from history. And so we've solved this mystery that Primitivo and Zinfandel are in fact the same grape. So we figured out the origin of Zinfandel. It came from Italy. No, actually it turns out Primitivo is not actually native to Italy. That's not where it originated. And again, I don't really know why I say we. I had nothing to do with it. But scientists figured out that, in fact, it's the same as a grape that comes from Croatia. Yes, not exactly what we would have suspected, but it is true that it comes from Croatia. Now, here's where I get on my soapbox a little bit. Because some people would say, now that we know the origin of Zinfandel, we can no longer claim it as our own. It is no longer an American grape. It is no longer an American wine. And you know what I say to that? Hogwash. What is America? America is a nation of immigrants. And you know what this is right here? You know what Zinfandel is? It's an immigrant. Yes, it did come from somewhere else, but it came here to settle. It came here to get established. It came here and it jammed. It prospered. And I think we should be very proud of Zinfandel. And you know what? Now there's even Primitivos coming in from Italy. And guess what they're labeled as? Zinfandel. And so I say, drink up America. Drink the great American wine, Zinfandel. Hey, thanks a lot for watching this segment of Fun Party Beverage Facts. I am your host, Pierre. As always, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Grape Distributors. And as you can probably imagine, they distribute both of these wines, the Primitivo and the Zinfandel. Ask your favorite watering hole, restaurant, wine shop about these wines and other wines available from Grapevine Distributors. Check them out on Facebook. They are on Facebook as Grapevine Distributors of the Carolinas, which is going to change because they're expanding into more states, but they are great at finding great wines, getting them into the places you drink. Thank you so much. See you next time.